in London. And actually we managed to have some great heritage because last year's winner came from this regional heat, the founder of Eden 51, and they went on to win the whole competition. So fantastic to be here, and hopefully we can see another amazing cohort of founders. We're going to kick off, final note on that. We will find out who the judges pick for the winner tonight at the end of the event. There is also an opportunity for a People's Choice vote. So have a look at the startups, have a think of who you just think deserves to go through the next stage the most. Right at the end of the event, when it gets to the networking and the drinks and so on, we'll pop a QR code up on the screen and you can vote for the People's Choice. There's other ways you can help these founders too. Perhaps you want to follow them on social media, become a customer, or there might be something more formal like offering them mentoring help or even making an investment. But do use that time in the networking at the end to say hi, to find out more about that business and see if there's any way you can help them. So I'm going to start the event by welcoming our judges up to the stage, and we'll have about 20 minutes to find out a bit more about them and learn about raising investment, so to get that investor's perspective. Holly, our host, has got a few questions for the investors. But there'll be time for you to ask questions as well at the end. So if you want to ask something about your own startup journey or about something to do with investment that you're hoping to learn, keep that in mind, pop your hand up at the end. It's a really informal, accessible environment, and we want you to get the most possible out of the evening, so do get involved. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome my judges and Holly to the stage, and if we could give them a massive round of applause, please.
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you and welcome everyone. I can't quite believe we're on the last stretch of the regional finals now. We've seen so many amazing startups, and I've got no doubt we've got even more in store this evening. So as Chris explained, I have got a couple of sort of generic questions for our judges just to help us get to know them a little bit better before we get started. But if you do have any burning questions that you'd like to ask, then I will open it up towards the end. So just to kick us off then, if you could all give us a brief introduction as to who you are and what you do.
Hello. Okay. Hi, my name is Joseph Black. I'm a co-founder at both UniTaskr and Shout. UniTaskr is a platform that's geared towards helping students find experience opportunities around their studies. Shout, on the other hand, is a full-service creator marketing agency with a SaaS element whereby we're a UGC studio. I'm also an angel investor.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Camilla Greenwood. I'm an investment director at Praetura. I've been investing for about 3 years. I've only recently joined Praetura just a couple of months, so we're targeting startups, VC stage investments. Prior to that I was at LDC, so that's sort of the next stage where founders are looking to cash out, so check sizes between 10 and 100 million. And then prior to that I was at PwC, so about 10 years in financial services, getting my ACA, kicking tyres on financials, and then more recently investing.
Hi everyone, I'm David Levine, so I run Manchester Angels, which surprisingly is a Manchester-based angel investment network. 49 angels, 7 deals last year, 6 so far this year. I also run a fundraising business where I help businesses all over the world get investment from investors all over the world, and I am on various accelerator programs, UK Space Agency, Baltic and Touring, amongst others.
Amazing, thank you very much, guys. I guess everyone's going to be quite keen to know what's the most important thing to hear in a pitch this evening?
So for me personally, I like social impact. For me, I've always been very much about following the purpose, not the money, and the money following that. Naturally, it's important to make money as a business. But yeah, so I guess looking at value outside of purely revenue.
For me, I think it's the growth trajectory. So where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years, and succinctly how you're going to get there. Financials to me are the bedrock, so trying to articulate, even if you're pre-revenue, where's the aim to get there and how do you go about doing that?
Can you hear me? Do I need to use this? Yeah, can you hear me? So ambition. I like to see really ambitious founders disrupting really large markets. The only difference between founders and startups this side of the pond in the US is that level of ambition. So that's why I like to push people to think bigger than they tend to do so.
Amazing, thank you again. Something that we experience a lot is a lot of our founders that apply for the pitch, they haven't necessarily launched yet, so they can't really use revenue as a traction metric. What would you advise that they would use instead?
So I've been there. I think, for me, validation in other sources really helped with that. So for example, I participated in the pitch a few years ago. Competitions like this really helped me grow as an individual and help add merit to the work that we were doing. Outside of that, looking towards, as I mentioned before, social impact, we ran a lot of charitable initiatives that helped us drum up, wider press that also caught the attention of investors. So yeah, I think you just need to box smart, essentially.
I agree with the validation point, and I think deep diving on your product market fit is really important. Getting some evidence from questionnaires, speaking to people, referencing industry experts, thought leaders, getting them to sort of give you a bit of a rubber stamp and guide you through trying to get that full sale.
So I'll be a little bit contra, because that's who I am, what I do. The first thing I'd say is, what is not evidence is awards are never, ever, ever evidence of traction. And the number of decks I see every week that says, we've won this award, and just never do that. If you cannot evidence product market fit because you're just too early, the very least evidence the market wants what you are selling. Michael Dell always liked to be first to be second. There's no point going out there creating a new market, educating your customers that they need a thing because somebody else will come along. Once you've done that hard work, they'll take over and sell in. So try and at least evidence that the market has the problem that you've identified, even if you can't show that you have product market fit.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think we live in a day where it's so easy to reach so many people. Taking your concept to the streets on social. We do street interviews for a lot of brands that we work with to help validate the concept further. So yeah, I completely agree.
Wonderful, thank you guys, really interesting points. Another thing is we have a lot of solo founders even this evening. We've got a couple of solo founders pitching this evening. How can they prove that they have the right team and expertise to succeed?
So there is a lot of data that a lot of investors rely on that they prefer at least two founders. I was a solo founder in my business, and it can most definitely work. There are some investors, that's part of their thesis, they will say you need to be at least two people. But whether you're a solo founder, whether there's two of you or three of you, it has got to be the right team to solve the problem. So talk about experiences, whether it's technology, whether it's science, whether it's you've grown a really big business before. Show that you are the right people to do this. Don't just have a slide with pretty faces and titles, because that is not answering the question of why you were the right team to do this.
I agree with the evidence suggesting sometimes two is better than one, but that's never stopped me investing in a single founder, and we've had really good returns in the past and they've done really well. But I think as a single founder, know what your strengths are, play really well to those. If you need help, rely on a chairman or a non-exec or someone around the board table to complement those skills. Outsource what you're not good at and ask for help on it. That's my advice.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I've had a lot of mentors over the years and advisors that have helped fill gaps in the business that myself and my co-founder didn't unfortunately have. It's been instrumental. So I think being able to analyse where your weaknesses may lie and then looking to source kind of gaps can be really useful.
Amazing, thank you. And what gets you all really excited about a startup?
Should I start? When you're doing something really, really special, and I've never seen anything like it before, that's what I love, seeing the passion in founders' eyes. If there's no passion, there's no point. It's a bit of a tagline of mine. So yeah, that gets me excited.
I think self-belief and disrupting a really big market. So if you're able to, if you can really articulate and build a ground-up business model around how big your market is, not the top-down nonsense, but from the ground up, and you can show that you're really able to disrupt it, and you've got self-belief. I mean, I love those founders.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think determination and drive is everything. Just because, you can start off with one idea, and I think you need to know when to pivot. I guess the smallest pivot could be the difference between success and failure to some extent. So those that are more resilient and willing to make change to make their dreams come true.
Perfect, thank you. And so this is my last question now, so if you've got any questions or maybe start having a think if you want to ask something. Over the last few years, we've seen a rise in startups in various different sectors. Is there a certain sector that you expect to see or maybe even want to see in the next few years?
I mean, AI is obviously the one thing that is on every single deck. and you know, even though 90% of the time they're not actually doing real AI, or they're having a rapid ChatGPT. I think for me it's the vertical use of AI. I think people don't really realise yet just how much of a generational game changer AI is going to bring, and I want to see people using AI to really affect change in society and in the workplace.
Yeah, I'd also agree on the AI front, but leveraging it in smart ways. I think it's going to come down to the use cases. An example for me recently, so our agency runs activity across the UK and the US. We had a client that wanted to essentially launch in Germany and France. We don't have creators in Germany and France, so we've started using AI to dub British creators' voices to open us up into new markets. So I think,
I echo both of those things. I think where AI can enhance businesses, and then educating people about AI is definitely a growing market. One thing that comes with AI though is the cyber security side of things, which I think will continue to grow massively. One other thing that's quite close to my heart is getting the older generation back into the workforce, whether it's 1 day a week, just to keep the brains ticking over, stop loneliness, things like that.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. That's actually the end of all the questions that I've got to ask you, so I'm going to open it up to the audience if there is anyone who wants to ask our lovely judges any questions. Perfect. Thank you.
As a startup, when is the right time to go for funding? Because do you go too soon and you give away too much equity and you don't really understand where you want the business to go? Or do you go potentially too late and someone else has jumped in the market in front of you, competitor with the funding?
If you need to go for investment, and not every business needs to or should go for it, then it is a really tough balance. You need to do it as late as you possibly can, and bear in mind it'll take you 4 to 6 months from when you start to get out there. You have got to prove traction, you've got to prove at least a signal market, product market fit, and validation of what you're doing, and it is better to own a smaller chunk of a much bigger business as long as you have the right investor with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd echo that. Investor fit is definitely important. There's loads of guys out there, so make sure you make the right decision. And then look for other sources of investment, so whether that's grants or maybe some small debts.
Yeah, getting the timing right is really hard. I think it can go both ways if you leave it too late. I think something exciting about early stage is you haven't necessarily got all of that traction. At this point it's concept. So if you do, kind of progress too far into that stage, you kind of lose that kind of excitement around what could be. So yeah, it's a balancing act for sure.
Amazing, thanks guys. A really good question. Any others? Go for it.
With non-tech startups that are possibly pre-revenue, how can you summarise top 2-3 metrics on your sort of virtual scorecard that are assessing product market fit?
So not tech.
Yeah, consumer products.
It's hard. It's without context.
I know it takes a while sometimes to achieve
without context, that's really, really hard because not even within tech is massive.
Yeah.
So what does he do? What you asked the question, what's the business?
Well, it's not regarding mine. I work for a technology company.
I think I'm not sure but it's just really difficult without knowing the concept. So if I'm selling a brand,
so revenue, how are you just like, because it's pre-revenue, I'm suggesting like some sort of concept around product market fit, or how would coach a founder to go, can you come back to me and demonstrate these things, perhaps, I
would always just coach, just take a step back, right? Just you're going home to your partner and you're saying, I have this brilliant idea, I'm leaving my safe job, I'm putting the dog and the house and the kids up for sale in order to do this. What do you think? And they'll want to know, well, how do we know this is a thing? What you can tell them. It literally is. Sometimes it feels like rocket science. In reality, it's just, well, here's the evidence that proves people actually want this. You need to ask people, talk to people, survey people, create a manual prototype of the thing, make it out of paper and cardboard or sticky tape, whatever, and just somehow get through it.
Yeah, asking your peers for validation or people that might use that product or service. Would like this concept? Does it make sense? Would you buy it?
You can access a lot of obviously research online, so actually seeing if others have tried something similar in the past is a good way to kind of review. Then obviously social kind of validation, taking to the streets, asking people their thoughts. and people are quite happy to give you thoughts for free.
Yeah, cool.
Amazing. Another brilliant question. Any more in the audience? Go for it.
I work with an early stage startup at the moment, and he is in this kind of, he's in this space where he can't decide whether he should go for investment or he shouldn't go for investment. He's had family and friends investment, which is making the thing able to get off the ground and keep going. There are less than 12 months in, there's a really good amount of interest, and there's some clients signed up, and he's dithering on, okay, I don't really want to give away equity, I don't really want to take investment, but if I don't, then I can't do this. What tips the decision?
How fast does he want to grow, and like if he doesn't take it, can he continue to grow sustainably, and is he prepared to take that more sustainably over a longer period of time, in my opinion?
I agree with that. Had a thought come to my mind and it's just left me, but I know what it was. If he's sat on the fence about it, that fills me with a bit of doubt. I'd pick a side and go with it until...
I think he should go for it.
Yeah.
but he's reluctant to give up equity.
I mean, that's going to be an unhappy marriage, isn't it, right? Because that's the game, right? And it's not about, I think if you've got the mindset of I don't want to give up equity, that's probably the wrong mindset. Is if I can find the right partner who can be a force amplifier for me, they've got the Rolodex, where they help build a business, so they can put me in contact with the right people.
Yeah.
You have to answer 3 questions. How much you're raising, what are you going to spend the money on, and what commercial milestone will you be when that money is spent? And if you cannot answer those 3 questions, don't raise until you can.
Yeah.
He can, and I'm going to play that back word for word.
Perfect. Well, that is about all the time we have for questions this evening. So thank you everyone who asked. And thank you again to our lovely judges. Oh, there we go. I'm going to keep you for 2 seconds more. Just so that anyone who has got some questions at a later date, what's the best way to grab you guys?
LinkedIn is my place.
Yeah, LinkedIn for me too.
Same.
Perfect. Amazing.
You will be bombarded by my nonsense. Just be aware. That's all I'm saying.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, guys, and I shall pass you back to Chris.
Wicked, really appreciate that. If that mic's not working for you, do you want to just turn it off?
I think it is on.
It's a small enough room, so we can just...
Yeah.
That's all right.
Is it off? Slight technical difficulties there. But I really appreciate the insight and advice there. It's funny, we've done a lot of these events over the years, and all investors always say LinkedIn. So if you're not on there looking for investment, that is a great way to do your outreach. But yeah, you can see the names there, and obviously the judges will be around at the end if you do want to grab them and say hello. One other quick tip about LinkedIn, obviously if you do approach them, remind them where you met them, just because these people are doing a lot of networking, meeting a lot of people, so it is helpful sometimes just to get a little nudge of like, oh, we met at the pitch the other night, or I loved your answer to this, what do you think of that? So we'll get into the pitching part of our event now. At the pitch, we're trying to create a sort of really friendly, supportive environment. And for those of you that haven't done any public speaking or pitched your own business, it is tough to get up in front of a crowd and tell them in 90 seconds about your hopes and your dreams and what you've been working on day and night for the last few years. So we ask that you just be really supportive, and what that means in practice is when they come up on the stage, just give them a massive round of applause. Likewise, when they finish their pitch, give them a clap too. So with that in mind, I'll welcome our first pitcher of the night, which is Verta Golf.
Thank you. Right. When do I start?
When you're ready, yeah. And if you stand on it,
Okay, everyone see me all right? Golf is facing a crisis, and it's coming from somewhere you'd least expect. Golf balls. Every year, 420 million of them end up being lost, abandoned, or dumped in landfills, along with shoes, clubs, grips, plastic tees, and these are damaging our planet. The sport needs help, and this is where Verta Golf comes in. Our mission is to make golf greener. There's a rising demand for sustainable, cost-effective solutions across the worldwide B2B golf market. We actually started with our golf equipment cleaner to offer an eco-friendly alternative, which has so far sold over 3,500 units directly to customers. This success has enabled us to expand into key areas with an environmental impact, such as golf balls, with plans for more products. This year, we've focused on building relationships in the golf industry to disrupt the $300 million range ball market. And our golf balls are currently being tested at a leading driving range in the Northwest, which uses 160,000 golf balls annually. Our experienced team features a two-time exited founder and a PhD global marketing director, and my leadership skills leading teams to success. Verta has opened its pre-seed round and is seeking partners who share our vision on making sport greener. Thank you.
So I actually grew up selling golf balls. I lived on a golf course.
Brilliant.
I think we had thousands come into our bushes over the years.
Yeah.
Packaged them up and sold them when I was like 11. Great business. Just wondering, what do they retail at?
So we sell 12 golf balls for £15. But our biggest opportunity is within the driving range sector. So it's looking at those volume customers. So typically we would sell a golf ball for about 50 pence.
Okay, thank you.
What makes the golf balls special then versus your Strixon or another tailor-made?
So I've got some samples here, which I'll dish around later. But basically our golf ball is recycled. So going back to what I was saying earlier, 420 million are getting lost each year, and there's an estimated 1.2 billion are made each year. There isn't really an end-of-life programme for these golf balls. It's literally plastic going in the ground, whereas we're working with a manufacturing partner to repurpose these golf balls.
And no one else does that then?
There's a company in China, but in Europe we're the only people.
So I really like it, huge market, and people who play any sports like spending money on their equipment the whole time, so that works really well. What I'd like to hear, because you've sold 3,500 units of something which I'm not sure what it is, was it a cleaning thing?
Yeah, equipment
How many
cleaner.
golf balls have you sold?
So that is our latest product. So that's very much pre-revenue.
Okay, so you've not sold any.
No.
So I'd like to see some numbers. So things like, it's been many years since I got bored in golf course. I'd like to see some numbers, right? Things like customer acquisition costs, unit economics, how you have to go and acquire new customers, what are your channels. Just, it doesn't actually, what you're doing is brilliant, it's a big market, I like the sustainability angle, but it doesn't actually matter what it is you sell. Show me what the business is like. So customer acquisition costs, unit economics, how you're going to get them, how you're going to ship them, how you're going to make money. That's all I hear.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, please.
All right, great. Right. Right.
In your
Yeah.
90 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, 90 seconds is a silly amount of time. Usually,
Yeah.
you want a bit more time, right?
Yeah.
Just give me your numbers.
Yep. So basically, first year we want 85 customers, and that is driving ranges. That's where we're going to get the volume. So
build it ground up. So what I'd say is per driving range.
Yeah.
How many do they use? And therefore, you could, if they use 100,000, you could sell 100,000 per driving range. There are 82 driving ranges in the Northwest. Therefore, your TAM in the Northwest is X. But also do it on a global basis.
Yeah.
You can start in the UK, start in the Northwest, fine, but your market size should be ground up, but give me a global market size.
Yeah, definitely. So first year we want to be turning over just over 400,000, and it'll basically double for a couple of years, and then driving ranges will be ordering more than once a year. It'll be like literally 1.5 times a year, and it'll grow from there. The real USP for us is we're taking the pain point away from the driving range when it comes to disposing of the golf balls. Normally they would have to pay to send them to waste. We're actually saying, we'll take these balls off you and we'll, kind of remove that pain point and put them back through the system. So there will be legislation coming in terms of recycling waste at golf courses, and obviously we want to get in there before this legislation is created.
Okay, that's all we've got time for, but appreciate
Right, thank you.
Okay, next up we've got 10mg Farmer. I know Christian was running late though, but I don't know if he's here. Okay, we'll skip that one and go on to Whistler's Storm, please.
Expecting to do this towards the end of the second.
Oh no, it's all right.
What was this now? What was this now?
So this is Whistler's Storm, so if you skip past. Yeah.
We're not checking our emails.
They are scoring. Let's give him a big round of applause. Now he's ready.
Thank you very much.
Just start when you're ready.
Sure. Okay, nice to meet you all. I'm Dominic Richardson, founder of Whistler's Storm. It all began during an eye-opening trip to Kerala, where the discovery of the tea-making process truly captured me. During the first lockdown, I merged this passion with my hobby of liqueur making, creating something truly unique. And now, here I am, pitching a business idea about tea liqueurs, when before Kerala, I only drank builder's tea. We feel that modern consumers seek unique, lower ABV spirits with rich flavours like tea, revealing a clear market gap. And tea is globally loved, but tea liqueurs are rare. We fill this gap with our 20% strength tea liqueurs, which use a neutral spirit base to showcase tea's natural complexity. We currently produce 4 distinct teas with plans for ready-to-drink cans and more varieties. Since our July 2021 launch, I've handled everything from manufacturing to development to sales while working part-time. I've secured national distribution in Italy and Taiwan, along with extensive UK sales, achieving £240,000 in revenue, as well as winning numerous industry awards. This positions us well to capture a significant share in a growing liqueur market. We seek £250,000 investment to scale production, add expertise, and expand in the UK and key international markets. Join us in steeping a new chapter in the spirits industry. Thank you.
I mean, I'm not a B2C investor, but you can't help but walk around the supermarket and see cocktails in cans and wine in cans and water in cans, which is just weird. I don't see why this wouldn't do really well. I have certainly not seen much in the way of tea-based liquor in supermarkets and the stores. I like the branding; it looks really good, and it's quite premium as a brand. I've no idea what it tastes like, so I can't admit to that. But not yet, anyway. Yeah,
it tastes like a different type of tea.
Right, that's right. But it looks great, and I think your traction is brilliant, right? So you've got great distribution, so there's your channel to market, brilliant. You've got a good brand, I'm liking the brand values here, and you've done 240 grand worth of revenue. How much do you make per unit?
Per unit is well.
Are you making?
I would say it's about 40% gross margin.
Okay,
yeah.
Which is great. So I think 30% is probably the norm.
Yeah. And there's potential for that to increase as well due to increased better equipment, which can reduce wastage essentially, which is where a lot of losses come.
Investments based in Leeds would probably like this. They're B2C, True Global, they're also B2C. Lots of good angels in this space who like B2C. Don't see why this wouldn't do well. So yeah, congrats so far.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
I think it's fantastic. The product is very premium feel. How much would it cost me to buy a pack?
The most sales are the 70 cl bottles, so the larger bottles, which I don't have with me today. Yeah. This box itself is like a gift pack I do, which is £32 RRP. The individual bottles are £12.95 and a large bottle RRP is £25.95. So it's not overly priced, it's a competitive price in line with other premium liqueurs. Typical ones you have, gin's, this is 20% product, which allows, it's just in the UK, less duty, which allows for a lower price. Competitors.
Tea and alcohol, it's not so much.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because globally, tea's a really popular drink, and a lot of people like an alcoholic drink as well. So I thought, why not combine it together?
Just one more question. The scalability
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
What are your plans for that? Where are you operating now? What kind of capex have you got to spend?
Sure. Well, this is where I do need investment to get the business to where I want it to go to. So I'm growing in the UK. Mentioned Italy. It's my number one single customer. Export to Taiwan, which is a growing customer for me as well. I really want to expand further across the UK, and my key target market is the USA. I'm very close to a deal with a Chinese importer as well, which is really exciting. So, exactly, yeah. Because globally, there are a small number of tea liqueur companies, but no one has seemed to want to push it, and that's where I think I can come in really and fill that gap.
No, it's really cool. I've never seen a tea liqueur. I think it's great. You mentioned obviously you're looking to kind of grow out your expertise, and
Yep.
you've been doing this all very much on your own.
Yep.
So what kind of positions would you be looking to kind of bring in following the fundraise?
Yeah, sure. So there's numerous areas. So my background, I have a finance background. I don't have I just have a alcohol background as a hobby. So liqueur making as a hobby. I got really into tea. I don't have a background in the spirits industry, and I really would like someone with more experience than me from the industry either come directly onto the team or be on the board as a non-exec director, being able to give me strategic advice. The key with this product is, because people haven't heard of it, you need to have product on lips, people need to taste it. So I need salespeople out there on the ground, which is how it works in this industry, going around bars, restaurants and so on, which is my key customer target base at the moment to the trade, and having people out there getting product on lips and people trying it. So yeah, sales, spirits expertise, and also marketing it is key as well. So I want to bring in a couple of marketing people. £250,000.
So
Yeah.
somebody who does this for a living,
Yeah.
get onto LinkedIn, look for angels.
Yep.
In fact, drop me a note on LinkedIn. I'll connect you to the Brewdog people.
Sure.
Right? They also know their stuff. But look for angels who have done exactly what you've done in the same industry, but with a different product, obviously. And just get them to invest. Do not let anybody onto your board who's not put money into the business.
Oh no, of course, yeah. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
That amount of money, angels, should be easy to find. I'll give you a list of people I work with.
Fantastic. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Glad to wrap up there. Really useful piece of advice at the end there. Appreciate that. Excellent. So next up we have KZ Organics.
So we should have gone to ball to go with her.
So Chloe's just walked in the door too, so she's done very well to get up on stage straight away. But, just start when you're ready.
When do you want me to start? Anytime. Yeah. Are we ready? Yeah. Okay, I'm Chloe from KZ Organics. In March 2020, I got coronavirus while working as an aid worker on the border of France to England, and I lost my smell and taste, and it didn't come back. It came back distorted 6 months later, and then I realised that I might never recover. Smell and taste disorders are affecting 5% of the global population, and I just couldn't believe that it had happened to me. So I started to look at different products and understand why things were the way they were. And that's when I come up with KZ Organics. We've now got 13 products. Sorry, I'm out of breath. We've got 13 products today, and we've launched in Debenhams, Dorothy Perkins, Wolf and Badger, and we're looking to raise £500,000 for 10% of the business. We're featured in British Vogue, GQ, and Glamour magazine. And we just launched in store in Wolf and Badger this morning as well, on my way here. Yeah, so that's KZ Organics.
balls, free tea. We're looking forward to getting some free tea. So
Why not?
what I would say is, first of all, never say in an investment pitch what your valuation is, either in terms of business you're giving away, because you are emotionally anchoring your investor at a certain valuation. It should always be negotiated. Because what you can do is you can end up disqualifying an investor out of the picture who actually could be great for you, or they could say, no, your valuation doesn't work for us. Let them fall in love with you and the product and your traction first before you do it. That's the first thing. Secondly, are you doing anything B2C as opposed to just B2B or through channels? Have you got your own website you send direct to or anything?
Yeah, we've got our own website and we've tested with 100 people who have scent distortion and got 85% success rate amongst that focus group.
So I would talk about the actual real sales. So I think it's a phenomenal. You've got phenomenal traction if you've got these distribution channels set up. You want working with retailers, they will take you to the cleaners, right? You will get a penny per product or something. Margins are really, really high. B2C will do an awful lot better. I think you've also got to build a really strong brand. So just talk about the numbers around that traction that you've got. But I think it's quite unique. I mean, I've not seen it. I'm not necessarily second, I'm necessarily in, but I think it's really interesting.
Thank you.
I obviously love products like this. How were you featured in Vogue and the other magazines you spoke about?
Mainly just from the SEO and just telling the story. I think when I realised that I didn't have any products that I could use, and then I got that first product and I could use it, it was just like revolutionary, and I thought I can't keep this to myself if people are going through what I'm going through.
So is your target market there, or is it, I guess, on the shelves of Debenhams, how do you engage people to buy the product? Scent first, which is validated, which is a big tick.
It was mainly for people who have scent distortion or scent loss, but then when we've put it out to like the wider market, people have seen the packaging, seen the colours, and they've tried it and then they've loved it, and then that's how we've ended up in Debenhams.
And is there one hero product that's selling really well, or is everything as good as each other?
All the men's products seem to be going quite quick, which is a surprise. But yeah, very popular.
Very growing market.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think one of the really interesting metrics you could look at is not just the sales, but repeat sales.
Yeah.
So if somebody's buying a thing, great, you've sold them on a thing. If they're coming back time and time again, so your lifetime value per customer, for example, as well as your customer acquisition cost, you can say that person has bought and they've continued to buy, maybe you've offered a subscription product, for example.
Yeah. That's
a really, really powerful metric for brand loyalty.
We've got that coming next.
Perfect.
You're ahead of us.
I think it's a really cool story. As a founder myself, I think people buy into our stories. It's helped me a lot along my journey. So I think you really need to keep to that. It's great. But following the round, what do your plans for expansion look like? What are you ultimately looking to achieve over the next year or so?
We're looking to bring the manufacturing to the Midlands, just outside of Birmingham, and then give people who are from low economic backgrounds the opportunity of a job to work in the factory and get them back on the employment ladder. So we're just helping the community as well as making the products.
That's everything. Wicked. Thank you very much. Okay, so the next pitch tonight is a slightly different format. So as we mentioned at the start, we do try and create a sort of inclusive community here at the pitch. And this pitcher unfortunately can't make it to the event tonight. And she'll explain why in a second. So we are going to watch a video of the pitch. And then after that, she also answers the judges' questions. So slightly different format, but will be scored and everything in the same way. And obviously, similarly, if you do want to reach out or help her or follow her on socials, etc., do that after the event as well. Sorry, I'll just try and wonder if we mute the microphones, Ash, if that's...
I'm Emily, the founder of Ticket Buddiez. Really sorry that I can't be there with you in person tonight, but as you can see, I'm currently in hospital, so please do excuse my backdrop. Big thank you to everybody at the pitch for allowing me to still participate in the event, and best of luck to everybody pitching tonight. Ticket Buddiez are a UK-based customer service outsourcing company specialised in working with e-commerce brands, and we will deliver quick, easy and exceptional service to their customers on their behalf so that they can set themselves apart from their direct competitors. Our primary products and services are customer service ticket management, where we will handle tickets for our clients 7 days a week across all channels as standard. We then offer monthly flexible pricing plans to allow clients to scale up and down to match their support ticket volume, with no subscription fees or long-term contracts to ensure that they're always getting excellent value for money. The global outsourcing market is projected to reach $525 billion by 2030. The total addressable market in the UK for e-commerce brands is $55.5 billion. That's because there's over 588,000 e-com brands in the UK alone. If we have just 9 clients, one on each of our monthly pricing plans, that would give us an average contract value of $86,040 per year. From the TAM pie of $55.5 billion, if we were able to get 50 clients in total, which is just 0.008% of the TAM pie, that would give us a service addressable market of 4.3 million. Thank you for your time and look forward to speaking to you again.
Perfect. So as I mentioned, she also, the judges saw that video and then asked questions, and she recorded a reply to those questions, which we'll watch now.
So investment would allow our company to really rapidly scale the business. We're bringing a really unique sort of business model and USP into the outsourcing space, and if we were to get investment, then I would use that to rapidly scale the business into new industries and markets so that we can quickly capitalise on our USP. So Ticket Buddies offer unique monthly flexible pricing where our clients can buy a plan from us for a certain number of tickets so it will match their ticket volume, and this is something that hasn't been done as of yet in the outsourcing space, and it's particularly useful for e-commerce brands because they all have peaks and troughs in their ticket volume. So with us they can scale up during peaks of high demand, and they can also scale back down. We've also got the sort of other services that we're bringing into the business, things such as the customer service consulting. So again, that's not anything any of the current BPOs do within this space. So if a client reaches out to us and we have a discovery call with them and we identify that they're not quite ready to outsource yet because they don't have the right infrastructure in place, we've got another service that we can offer them instead, which is to do some CS consulting for them to get them ready to outsource, so that when they do outsource, whether that be with us or not, then they're in a position to make that partnership a successful one. So obviously I can't say that we can guarantee that we can stop other businesses from replicating what we do, but what we will do is things such as focus on innovation, continuous improvement and staying ahead of industry trends so that we can try to set ourselves apart from our direct competitors. I would say that that's the team and the people that we hire. So even the customer service agents that we hire go through quite rigorous training for the job itself. And because we're working with different e-commerce brands, what we do find is that a lot of clients use similar tech stacks. So they'll have Shopify and Gorgeous or Zendesk for their tickets. So when our new agents join the business, they're trained how to use these tools effectively, and that can then be applied to any client that they're shifting on, because perhaps they might be shifting for 3 or 4 clients at the same time, but because they know how to use the tech stack, broad spectrum, then it's much easier to ensure that they are experts and they know how to use the tools that they use. And also, I would say that it's just the team, the management team as well. So I'm very passionate about making Ticket Buddies a really good place to work. And I think when you look after your staff, that just, helps everything, because they then are happy in their job, which means they're always going to be doing the above and beyond just day to day because they enjoy their job, they're well supported by their employer, which means they'll be able to deliver exceptional service for our clients. Thank you for your questions and see you soon, maybe. Bye.
So as I mentioned, the judges will score in the normal way, and as you can connect and everything online, and hopefully we'll see Emily at the final too. Next up we have Flowlio. If I've said that right, I've definitely said it wrong, haven't I? Thank you.
Sorry, this is my first pitch, so I'll just get some notes. So, over 80% of all projects fail, and 75% of executives think their projects are going to fail even before they've started. I'm Steve, I'm the CEO of Flowlio. I've worked in change and transformation for over 30 years, delivering large-scale change and transformation projects across the public sector and also across private industry. I'm going to put this away, actually. So I noticed that projects failed for a number of reasons, and most of those reasons were down to people and collaboration. Failed projects introduce waste, they result in business risk, and they impact people's lives. So they put people at risk. And one of the things I noticed is when you're in the thick of it and people are pointing the finger, is the level of support that's given to people that are delivering projects. And I've been there. I've delivered projects really well, but I've also been involved in failing projects. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I thought it's time to simplify the whole process around project delivery and change and transformation, and help people and support people by creating a simple methodology that's built on 5 steps. Aligning a training program to that's built on the same 5 steps for delivery, and then creating a SaaS solution around that. So I have another business, a consultancy business, and we proved the methodology in that consultancy business, delivering our engagements to clients across the UK. And then we started to build out a training program. And that training program, we got it Ofqual accredited about 2 months ago, something I'm very proud of. And then we launched our SaaS solution 2 months ago. We've been building it for 2 years, and it's an end-to-end change management solution that involves the entire ecosystem of project delivery, and it is a solution that can be used by pretty much anybody that's involved in delivering projects right across the globe, by pretty much any company. It's called Flowlio, and it's a solution that is tried and tested, and a methodology that's tried and tested as well. So we're seeking seed investment of around 300k, and we are looking for expertise to help us get the SaaS solution to market. We're already out there demoing the system. We've got great feedback. People are telling us for some enhancements, are telling us what's great about the solution as well. But we're also looking to take our training solution, which is a 3-day course, and turn that into AI avatar style training. That's me. That's Steve from Flowlio. Thank you.
I followed a similar kind of route with my agency. We ran an agency, a marketing agency, for a number of years, and realised that actually running an agency is quite human intensive, and we looked to SaaSify it, as you will, and we launched our SaaS version of our agency about a year ago, and it's now taken off, which is really exciting to follow. I think taking all those learnings from the agency or the consultancy model and being able to apply them in real time, it can work really nicely. Can you just explain a little bit more about the business model?
Yeah, so the business model it's built on the 2 services, which is the training and the SaaS solution. The training's delivered in person at the moment over a 3-day course. Like I said, we want to take that and systemize it. In terms of cost, there's 2 different types of training. So we can provide the training, basic project management fundamental training. You get the Ofqual accreditation with that. But Flowlio was built on a manual toolkit as well, so we can provide the training with the manual toolkit, and then that provides a route to market to the software as well. So it's a really good entry point for that.
Do you have a price for the software?
Yes, we do. So the software is £2,350 a month. It works out roughly £49 a user for up to 50 users. In social housing alone, which is my background, that would generate a revenue of around about £45 million a year. So if we've got there's 1,600 social housing providers in the UK, if we've got 160, that would be 4.5 million. So we're looking to, in the first year, generate 270k in turnover and 27,000 profit. In year 2, we're looking at 2.3 million net turnover, and then taking that to 4.3 million in year 3 with a 2.3 million profit. Yeah.
I really like it. I like how the training side has the accreditation, that makes it special, and then obviously the SaaS comes with the sexy recurring nature. How far along are you then, 2 months in? Have you got any pipeline customers? Who are you demoing it with, just bringing that to life?
So we've already sold the training. We did that through the consultancy business. We proved the methodology through the consultancy business, and then we set Flowlio up in November. We couldn't until June. We had nothing to show people. But before June, we were trialing it out with clients that we knew and I knew in the housing sector and local government, and getting feedback on the software so we could design it out. So putting things like improving risk management and stuff like that. We're now actively demoing it, so we've demoed it to, I'd say, about 20-25 clients at the moment. We've got some fantastic feedback. What we're getting quite a lot is initial demos, then people then ask us to demo it again to a wider team of people, so that process takes a little bit of time. But we've got about 6 really hot opportunities where clients are really talking to us about how they can use the system and the costs, and they've asked us to do proposals. So that's within the last 2 weeks, really. So we're at fairly advanced stages of getting our first customers onto it.
Yeah. And would they need integrating, or is it?
No, it's a standalone system. So the great thing about Flowlio is there's many project management solutions out there, and some really good ones, but they're mainly task-focused planning solutions. Flowlio is the entire life cycle of delivering a project, right from having an idea, getting it approved, doing a business case, delivering the project, closing it out properly, and then realising benefits. So in terms of the software, it's different. It's a different market. There's nothing out, and I can't find. I've worked in projects for 30 years, and I've never found a software solution that does what Flowlio can do.
I think it's really good that you've got an ideal customer profile. Stick to that, do your research, and then scale once you've.
Yeah, our plan is to tackle housing, because there's a big need in housing and local government. Most of them do projects and they're just car crashes and chaos. So we can put some control and governance around that. That'll really help. And then in year 2, we want to aim at NHS and education, and then year 3 is taking it into private sector around manufacturing, construction. But we're already demoing it to people in the States. So we're in fairly advanced talks with a construction company in the States who want us to demo it to them again. So there's a big market in the US for it as well.
So, fairly quick question.
Sorry. Right now, okay. Well, there's loads of stuff I can say here. First of all, I thought it was a great pitch. Doing that note, that's really good. I wonder if people will incorrectly perceive this as a super crowded market, and therefore the only thing that will count are actual real customers doing real things. I'd look at a company called Keys, which is in social housing, but not what you're doing, but not a great channel to market. I would go for the really quick acquisition channels. Forget NHS, forget government, because they don't lend you money, will take you forever. Go for private markets that can make decisions really quickly, because velocity is going to be your biggest friend. If you don't get it, it'll be your biggest enemy.
Yeah, no, that's really great feedback, and thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it.
We'll have to wrap up there. Okay, next up, we've got EndorseMe.
Okay, I'll jump straight in. How does a small bag brand go from selling at Spitalfields Market to selling at one of Europe's largest e-commerce retail platforms in just 1 month? The answer? EndorseMe. EndorseMe is an all-in-one platform that streamlines and scales influencer marketing campaigns using multiple creators across multiple platforms. We've taken the kind of best practice of guerrilla marketing and inputted it into influencer marketing to drive brand awareness and mass reach, all in a cost and time efficient way. With my experience ranging from professional boxing all the way to insurance broking, which I know is very random, I have seen this evolution of influencer marketing and the growth, as you'll know, with smaller creators, and how they can really impact driving brand awareness, but also impact campaign profitability over multiple platforms. So EndorseMe, whilst it tailors to kind of startups, we have affordable solutions. We've had conversations with the likes of Ann Summers, River Island, Space NK, and what we've seen is that they would prefer to use a platform like EndorseMe because of the mass reach that it can get, and also our focus on driving campaign profitability rather than just focusing on vanity metrics. Since our conception in 2022, we've been using a bootstrapping strategy, and we are revenue generating, should get that in. But of course, we're open to investment, but more as a growth accelerant. Our main priority is still revenue generation at this stage. Thank you so much. I'll go to you guys for questions.
I like it. For a shout, we work across pretty much every platform. We've got over 200,000 creators, 1 billion combined followers, so I completely understand the market. In terms of like the platform, is it a platform? Is it a website? Like, how do you guys operate?
Yeah, so so probably what you would have seen is our website, and then you have to click through to the subscription-based platform. So we have an actual platform that they'd need to log into, and the influencers use too.
How much do you charge for the subscription?
So we've got 3 levels of subscription. We've got Startup, which is £99 a month, then Growth, £499 per month, and then Enterprise, which is £1,699 per month, so £1,699.
Just one other quick question. Yeah. In terms of revenue, you mentioned that you're revenue generating.
Yes.
Revenue have you generated?
So,
what time frame?
Yeah, of course. So we started revenue generating in April, and year to date we've generated, I'll be precise, £1,188 of revenue, predominantly with the startup subscriptions, and that's recurring revenue.
I really like it. Definitely give it a shout after.
Perfect.
I can help introduce you.
Brilliant, thank you.
I'm going to ask a really basic question now. So the platform, you've got both sides. You've got your creators and then your brands on there. So I guess, how do you scale the creator side as well as the brand side? What are the 2 different market strategies?
Yeah, so as a marketplace, this is always the feedback I get from investors. It's the one that they really don't want to challenge because there's 2 sides to it. So I'll take the creators to begin with. Essentially, I've been using an organic strategy only because I've been bootstrapping, so it was more cost effective for me. But essentially what that meant was running multiple competitions over a few different months and kind of getting creators on that way, as well as some ad campaigns running in the background. When it comes to the actual brands, it's a completely different strategy altogether because there's 3 tiers. I did focus on startups. However, I need to look at my pricing there because as much as they're great, they need a lot more marketing involvement. So we need to look at maybe bringing AI, hence where the investment would come in, as some kind of training program to show them how to start building a campaign in the beginning. That's why I want to switch to targeting enterprise.
So let me just check a few things at you. So first of all, 2-sided marketplaces are gold. I did a raise recently, and if you can get that if you can identify and articulate the flywheel, Airbnb, Tinder, Uber, they're all 2-sided marketplaces. So you get that flywheel, then it's phenomenal. I think your problem with investment is twofold. Number one, I think startups have much money, so charge them 99 quid a month, you probably won't get money, right? Because they don't have money to spend. It's quite a large chunk. I think most investors will think this is a super crowded market. Yeah. There are tons of people. I mean, in Manchester we've got So Square, we've got Sam, that tall guy, I can't remember his name. But he's doing this, again, this influencer marketing platform thing. The only thing that will matter is traction, is revenue, is trajectory, because it's such a crowded space.
I completely agree. That's why like I said, my primary objective was to continue revenue generating. I'm very aware of kind of
It'll be chicken and the egg, because you go to investor, you go to Praetura, or whatever else, and people go, well, you all run a 62 billion doing the same job, right? Exactly. But if you can say, this is our growth trajectory, then people go, I might not be able to understand what's different about you, but clearly something is because it's working. Yeah. So that's what, if you're generating revenue, focus on that.
Definitely.
Not startups.
Exactly that. Thank you.
Great, and next up we've got ValArt.
Thank you. You guys okay? So ValArt is it's a revolutionising collectible management platform. It's born from my own problem as being a collector. Initially it started out as art, but as we were doing customer discussions, loads of people were going, can I put watches in? Can I put whiskey in? Can I put my grandfather clock in, or clothes? And I started looking around at myself and realised actually I'm a collector. And when I tried to find a platform that was agnostic for collectors, I didn't find anything. So I went out and spoke to other people that I know that are in the collector space, and it turns out it's a problem that everyone's had for quite a long time. Because if you collect agnostically, there's individual platforms and individual spaces, but there isn't anything that you can log a variety of different things, and it's really difficult. And as a collector, we love our items, that's why we do it. So it's made up of 4 features. So we've got the ability to catalogue and inventorise what you own. We've created our own valuation algorithm that gives users an indicative value as to what it's worth for insurance purposes. Then we've got secure digital storage. So for physical items such as watches, artwork, sports memorabilia, anything with a paper document, you can upload it to our system, and we'll use blockchain digital ledger technology to convert that into a secure digital document. And then we've got an end-of-life tool. So one thing that we discovered is we as collectors love what we do. Our family don't give a shit. My wife doesn't care. So we built an end-of-life tool that basically gives our loved one access to the platform so they can see what they own. And then it's built up of myself. I'm the CEO. This is my second business. We got a CTO with over 35 years of experience and a CMO who's got 14 years of experience in the marketing and press space. It's a subscription-based model, and we are recurring revenue. And I think that's my time. Thank you.
Are you on the exchange? Is that what I've seen you before? On the warehouse? Is that...
No.
I've come up. So I think it's a really interesting idea. The problem you're going to have is twofold. Number one is, is there a big enough market of people who collect stuff anymore to make this a big enough market for venture scale returns? So how are you going to return a 500 grand investment into 5 million for an investor? That's my first question. How big is the market really? Number two, I'm not convinced that a subscription business model works. So I've got a big whiskey collection, right? Once I've catalogued my whiskey collection, once I know roughly what it's worth for insurance purposes, I would probably start losing interest in paying you every month because it doesn't change all that much. So why am I constantly paying a subscription fee for something that doesn't really change all that much? And that again comes back to the market size. So again, if I'm giving you 500 grand, how does that turn to 5 million for me? That I think is a fundamental problem and a question that we need to answer.
No, that's fair. So it's believed that the market, the worldwide market, is 408 billion. And ever since COVID, it's grown year on year, where they expect by 2032 to be over $1 trillion, because more and more people are collecting than ever.
So don't do, on my LinkedIn you'll see this, don't do a top-down market that we've just done, because that's the collectibles market. That doesn't tell me how big you can be. What you should do is start ground up and say there are this number of collectors in the world. This is how much we can charge.
So we looked at how many people are collectors, and it's really difficult because it's a subjective topic.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't think I was a collector till I started looking, and then realised my wife would call me a hoarder, but personally I'm a collector. So it's very difficult. There are no numbers out there that say there's X amount of collectors in the world.
That's your problem. So I think you're solving...
I know it's a problem. It's been pain.
You're solving a real problem that people will get and recognise as a problem. I think where you're going to struggle is the market size and how big a business can be.
Yeah, it's been a pain. I'm not going to argue with that. I've not enjoyed that part.
I think, quick one from me. I had a quick Google on your website. I like the NFT angle, and you mentioned blockchain, so they were sort of buzzwords that drew me in massively.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a big growth area going forward?
So we think so for us, because paper is becoming outdated. I don't remember what I put a receipt yesterday. Most people, my brother who's a collector, I ask him where an authenticity ticket is for his thing. I'm organised, he is not. So, he would upload everything, but we all move houses, we all, move, paper perishes. If you put it in the blockchain, it's never going to disappear anywhere. We're creating that irrefutable ledger. You don't have to worry where the paper copy is. So it makes it easier for the user because we collate it all into one nice, easy space. So under that collectible item, you've got the documents underneath it, along with all the blockchain information, everything, but your loved one also has access to it. So they can view it. So if they can't locate the paperwork, because you're a messy person like my brother, they can still access the online documents.
Do you have partnerships with will providers and things like that, or could that be a growth?
So that's one of our growth avenues. That's partially why we want investment, but from a couple of angels that understand that section, because I I don't really get whales, if I'm honest. It's not my speciality. It's not my bag. So that's kind of why we want some investment to kind of go out and build the B2B side, because we know there's a massive insurance angle as well, because there's a lot of collectibles that you cannot get insured. For example, one of our users has a £100,000 transformer collector. It's not insured because insurance companies don't know how to risk factor it. You know, I've spoken to insurance companies, they go, but who's going to want to steal a transformer collection? Personally, nobody. But they're not insuring it for theft. They're insuring it against perils, loss, fire, flood, that sort of thing, because we as collectors are creatures of habit. Just because we lose something doesn't mean we're going to stop. We're going to want to start again. So we want that insurance payout so we can carry on and go back to the beginning.
My issue, I guess, lies in the brand positioning. I completely understand how you know, you said that you've looked and there are different sites for different collectors from different kind of aspects and different sectors, but actually you're trying to combine it into one.
Yep.
It's really hard to be the go-to place for everything. Your messaging can get quite mixed up quite quickly. You know, we tried to do it with our tasking platform, you know, get your cleaners, get your gardeners, and it was really challenging. My advice, I guess, towards that would be to become the go-to place for one thing and then educate your consumer base on how they can use it or leverage the platform for their other things.
No, totally agree. So what we've done is we've broken it down into packages. So then when collectors sign up, they can pick what particular item they need. So like if you just want the catalogue, you can sign up to the catalogue. If you want the catalogue, the valuation, the end of life, that's a different package. So we kind of tailor it to what collectors.
When you're marketing the product, how are you positioning it?
So at the moment we're positioning for art, sports memorabilia and music memorabilia, because they're pretty much largely underserved markets. That's where we're going for at the moment. Thank you. No problem.
We'll have to wrap up there, so. Brilliant. We've got our last pitch for the night, which is Bealies.
Well, you threw me off there.
Start when you're ready.
So, have you ever heard of a builder's bum? It's not a pretty sight, but just imagine if this is your issue every morning. But not as a builder, but as being a part of one of the 1.4 million wheelchair users in the UK. Now this is my son's issue, because my son is a wheelchair user after having a spinal cord stroke when he was 13. My name is Camilla. I'm the director of Bealies Adaptivewear, and in 2021 I launched Bealies Joggers. Bealies Joggers are designed with a unique fly front opening and a high back to ensure full coverage while sitting. All right, yeah. Since launching, we've sold nearly 100 pairs of joggers and shorts, and we've launched the hoodies as well to match. Our customers love our warm fabric, our stylish design, and the functionality of our products. We are now ready to scale up the business and add some more essential products to our range, for example, underwear, t-shirts and jeans, designed with the same functionality as well. As a carer for my son, I know firsthand what disabled people want from their clothing. Research shows that disabled people want to buy their clothes from established retailers. So that's why we're looking to collaborate with high street retailers and sportswear brands. We're also looking for investors to help scale up and help fund the scale up of the business. So would you join us to make fashion truly inclusive? Thank you.
So let me kind of start. So first of all, make sure you're talking afterwards. We've got some people I want to introduce you to. There's a new centre kicking off in Sheffield. It's about technology around children's health next year. They've got an accelerator programme. That's someone spoke about to me today. That'll be perfect for this. I think fundamentally you're targeting a niche, and niches are brilliant because niches have very specific use cases, very specific messaging which you can talk to, and it's so much easier to address a specific niche than a really, really wide market. I think what you need is don't bother going to a VC. Find an angel with either an emotional attachment to the space or gets it, because I think there's going to be a lot of, you want somebody who's built a business in clothing or in adaptive wear or targeting that market, and they will be like a superpower for you. That's how I would do it. And I'll give you some contacts afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Again, I've got a few contacts up my sleeve. I think it's fantastic pitch.
Thank you.
In terms of the partnership then, I'm conscious that your son knows what looks good. How well is he with the design? Does he need some help there in terms of making sure that it's accessible for women and men?
Well, I've designed it.
Okay.
I've designed it based on his needs. So he's a wheelchair user. Like I said, he had this stroke all of a sudden out of nowhere, and the next minute, every time we move in, all I can see is bum and lower back. And so we're looking around, and we couldn't find clothes that fit properly. As you know, men, your trousers only come up to here. You have to sit like this. You know, we're all made in one shape, but we're all different shapes and sizes. He also has to self-catheterise, and we just couldn't see any joggers with a fly opening, so I designed a jogger with, I was going to wear them actually today, but I'll wear my suit instead. We've put the zip in a unique position so it gives you more space and 2 free hands to self-catheterise, and also the back is high, so it means that you don't have the builder's bum. So that's what we're doing, and then we're constantly in contact with customers. We're on social media talking to disabled people. The Paralympics just recently, I've reached out to a few of those and they've been testing them out for me and just coming with other ideas and stuff like that. So it is a very niche market. It's a growing niche market. Everybody's talking a bit more about disability and clothing and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where it's been difficult to know who to go to help. You know, working that as, and it could be that it have to be like high street, although we don't have a high street anymore because they're all online, unfortunately. But you know,
have you just got the one supplier? Is there a that you would partner with?
No, we make them. So we've made them. I've designed them. I'm really passionate about making in the UK, but it is quite expensive. So I have found a factory in Turkey now who can make them a lot cheaper. But like I said, we've designed it and made them from scratch. So we haven't really sort of bought in and adjusted, which is initially what we were looking for, but it still didn't work. So we thought we had to just start and design it from scratch. So we basically use a block of trouser model, and then we've just made the back higher, we put a zip in, and like I said, we've been constantly sort of tweaking it. We made the shorts to match, we've got hoodies now to match, we've got boxers, t-shirts, so we've got all the designs ready. But we just need to get out there and find the best way to do it, really. So I've just been doing it and bootstrapping it myself while still working and still caring.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can certainly tell you're really passionate about what you do.
Yeah.
Proud.
Thank you.
I have family members who have had medical procedures and finding it difficult to find clothing that fits in the right way, and you know, it has a massive negative effect on their mental health.
Of course, definitely.
That's what you're doing. How much are you looking to raise, and how would you allocate those funds?
Well, that's the thing again, isn't it? You know, we talk about NHS being skint. You know, I've always just worked for the NHS. I'm a social worker by trade, and you just get paid 30 grand a year for the rest of your life, and then you drop dead. The money goes so quick, doesn't it? That's literally it. But the money goes so quick, and I put so much money in it, and I'm like, got none left. And you know, like you said, apart from selling the kids in your house, so it's really hard to know what to ask for. I'm hearing things like, 250,000. I'm like, that's $250,000. It's a lot of money, but it doesn't really go very far, does it? And I find where I'm going to really need it is to really market research the area of adaptive wear, to market it properly. We've been using social media quite heavily, but it's not resulting in the sales. So we need to be able to look at a different way to market, whether we use TV shopping or, as well as online TV shopping, or try and get out into the actual physical stores itself. But $250,000 would be handy. But, it's hard to know where to spend it.
I'm going to make 2 very, very quick points. Number one is, don't just talk about the UK, your market is global and you should have envisioned.
Oh, it's massive.
So talk about global. Secondly, I think you're too early for investment because there's so many known unknowns here. Growth, Manchester Growth Hub, GC Growth Hub, and various other places, accelerators, I think can really help you start to answer the question, how much do you need, what you're going to use it for, and where would be the money to spend. Don't go for investment until you have that figured out.
Yeah, I've done the business growth up, Vic, as well, thank you. Brilliant, thank you.
Fantastic. I absolutely love those pictures. A real diversity in terms of the challenges people are trying to solve in the world. We're going to announce the winner in just a minute, so my team at the back there are calculating the numbers right now. So if I could just quickly remind the judges to just finish the forms and hit submit as soon as you can. While we're working out the scores, we just want to say a quick thank you to the companies, the organisations that support the pitch and allow us to keep it free for all the founders that take part. So the first supporter is Founder Catalyst, who have backed us for the last 2 years. They are a legal service to get your paperwork done for your investment round. So get your SCIS assurance and then to go on and do options, things like that. So if you are raising, check them out. They did a partnership with us where the founder of Founder Catalyst, Sam Simpson, reviewed investment decks. So if you have an investment deck and you want someone to take a look, you can upload it on our website and get feedback from him. He's made over 60 angel investments, and he also scaled a previous business from 0 to 30 million. So he really knows what he's talking about, and he's giving time back to the community to help people get their paperwork in order. Second up, we have Tide, a business bank. So they also now offer a card reader, and they did a competition with us called Pop Up with Tide. So last week we were in Bristol and we hosted 10 of the pitch entrants, a free opportunity for them to run a stall, to test trade, to get some revenue and get their brand out there. We've also got a £5,000 grant available for product businesses, and that's open for the next 2 weeks. So if you are running a product-based business, if you're in that early stage and you need that support to get started, to do things like we were talking about a moment ago, sort of investigate what you're doing and figuring stuff out, again, jump on the website, look at the opportunities, and you can enter that competition with Tide. Then we have Notion. For those of you that don't know Notion, it's an all-in-one platform to run your startup. So you can use lots of different interactive templates as well as building stuff from scratch. And that will include every system from even managing your fundraise through to taking customer requests and so on. So it's a really flexible tool that works in a really collaborative way. With them, we've got a 6-month trial for qualifying startups. So you do have to fill in a form to check that you meet the standards, but after that, you can try out the tool, again, if you're in that early stage. And then finally, we have Curry's Business. So they've supported us also for the last couple of years. And this year we did a competition called Kit Up with Curry's. So they gave 2 pitch founders a bundle of about £2,000 worth of tech to help them with their social media and to get started. And we're following those 2 founders and their journey as they grow their business, but also as they take part in the pitch competition. So check out our socials for that content. Have I got a nod from the back of the room yet? It's still going? Yes. Just quickly while the envelope comes up, it'd be lovely to hear a really quick bit of feedback from each of you of kind of what you thought of the standard of the pitches and kind of the people up here tonight.
I thought they were fantastic. Congrats everyone. I know it might have been some of your first time pitching, but really, really good, really impressed. I like the emotiveness with some of the pitches, it really gets me enticed, and I liked how succinct and to the point everyone was. We hear a lot of pitches day in, day out, so getting to the point pretty quickly, which you had to do in the 90 seconds, is really important, so don't let that lose your mind going forward.
So I love the passion. I mean, every single founder really spoke about the business with passion, so that was really brilliant. The 2 things I would focus on is tell people within the first 10 seconds what it is you actually do. Most of the time I was trying to figure out and fill in the blanks, so what people did, it just was not clear. And secondly, the only thing that matters, is how you're going to turn 500 grand to 5 million, right? And so you need to be thinking the whole way through is, how am I going to turn what you give me into a return? And that was also missing, and you've got to get it in that 9 seconds.
I think you guys did fantastic. It's really nerve-wracking getting up here and doing it. and each time you do it, it does get easier and easier. I used to shake like crazy. But yeah, no, I think you guys did great. Well done.
Love it. And the winner of tonight is Whistler Storm. Just give us a few words.
Yeah, well, I thought I fumbled it up a little bit because I'd learnt the pitch off by heart and ended up reading from my notes. But I think if I didn't have them, I would have been able to do it. But having them was a bit of a security blanket, really. But yeah, unexpected. Yeah, it was my first pitch, actually. So yeah, really, really happy. And everyone else did fantastically as well. Heard some really great business ideas. And yeah, thanks very much.
Awesome. So that brings the evening to an end. We, as I said, put the QR code up there, so do check that out. You can vote for the People's Choice, and that will be somebody from this final going through to the final. We'll announce that on social media tomorrow, so if you aren't already following us on LinkedIn, I don't know what you're doing, but check us out and you'll find out who wins. Finally, we do have some time for networking. There's more drinks, so use that opportunity to meet the startups, to make useful connections, and possibly to talk to these guys up on stage. And if I get a final round of applause for our judges and pitchers, please.